Have you ever noticed that after a run, the world feels quieter? The problems that felt overwhelming suddenly shrink. Decisions feel lighter. And for a moment, you suddenly realise what truly matters. When you run, whether that's short, long, hard, or easy, the unnecessary begins to fall away. Your to-do list unravels like a loose thread. And even that restless, judgmental voice in your head goes silent. And what you're left with is rhythm. Feet on the ground, heart beating, breath moving in and out. Running strips life down to the essentials. And there's something powerful about silence on a run. At first, you hear everything. Your breath, your footsteps, the world around you. But after a while, the silence becomes more than an absence of noise. It becomes presence. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoics, once wrote, "Silence is the lessons learned from the sufferings of life." Running teaches us that silence isn't emptiness, it's clarity. And philosophers have always spoken about the need to return to the essentials. Plato believed that learning wasn't filling the mind with more, but turning inward to find the truth. And running feels like that. Not an addition, but a subtraction. Not filling your mind, but clearing it. And running to me is sculpture. A sculptor doesn't create by adding more clay, but by chipping away at the excess. Step by step, the unnecessary falls away and the form emerges. Michelangelo said he saw the angel in the marble and he chipped away until he set it free. And running is no different. It chips away at distraction, and what is left is you in the purest form. Philosopher John Vervaeke calls this relevance realization, the ability to see what really matters in a world that is drowning in distraction. Think about it. The average person picks up their phone 300, 400 times a day, maybe even more for the younger generation. That's once every 3 minutes. Noise, endless, irrelevant noise. But when you run, your body forces you to prioritize breathing over worrying, movement over distraction, the present moment over endless anxiety. It's not about escaping life's problems. It's about learning which ones are truly worth your energy. And that's why problems always feel smaller after a run, because compared to fatigue, doubt, and distance, the world doesn't stand a chance. And this is why many people call running meditation in motion. It doesn't empty the mind, it refines it. Like tuning an old radio, stripping away the static until you find the right frequency. Marcus Aurelius, the famous Stoic, wrote, "Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary?" And running forces that question. Every step demands economy. Every breath demands presence. Heraclitus said, "Character is destiny." And running shapes that character one step at a time. Because growth is never found in comfort. It's found in fire. And running is a controlled fire that you choose to step into. And here's the real beauty. The run doesn't end when it ends. When you return, the world feels quieter. Decisions feel lighter. That argument That deadline, that worry feels smaller. Epictetus, the Stoic, once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than reality." And running proves this, because out there, when you're stripped to rhythm and breath, you realise most of what weighs you down is imagined. Running shows you what's real: effort, persistence, survival. But running isn't just about clarity. It opens the door to wonder. Every long run is a reminder that meaning shifts, relevance shifts. What mattered yesterday may not matter today. What feels urgent now may vanish tomorrow. And Socrates once said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." And running is a way of examining, not with words, but with movement. With every mile we ask, why does this matter? What remains when everything else falls away? Haruki Murakami once wrote, "I run to seek a void." And in that void, we often find a meaning. And the greatest marathon runner of all time, Eliud Kipchoge, reminds us only the disciplined ones in life are free. Running gives us that discipline, and through it, freedom. And so we come back to rhythm: feet, breath, heart, over and over. Running doesn't just bring us clarity, it brings us back to the rhythm of life. Inhale, exhale, effort, recovery, struggle, peace. And maybe that rhythm, simple, clear, undeniable, is all we ever need. So do you run to find peace and clarity in your life? Do you run to silence the noise? If you do, I'd love to know down below in the comments.